you so much for coming to this YouTube video. If you guys are not here yet, well then you'll see this after this is aired. Um, you guys know I share like 99.99% of my life. Like, I don't share like where I live at, per se, for my own personal protection. But um, uh, I need to let you guys know what happened to me yesterday. And before I get into that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, um, thumbs up, thumbs down the video, whatever it is you feel like doing, do it. You know, I'm not here to pressure you to like or dislike my videos or whatever. You do whatever you want. But something really major happened to me yesterday. I told you a couple days ago how my son had a seizure Wednesday/Thursday morning. Um, well, um, I injured myself pretty bad. Um, my son weighs 150 something pounds, and I didn't realize he was actually that heavy because he used to weigh only 125, 130. So when he would have a seizure, you know, um, he would be easy for me to flip over. But this seizure is different. I ran to him while I heard him from across this trailer. This is a 55-foot trailer, and his seizures sound so bad. They sound like he's drowning in his own saliva. And it's like horrible. It's like I can't explain it. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that this trailer, amplifies sounds, but um but it actually woke me up from a dead sleep. I literally ran to him, and then, without knowing what had happened, in my running to him, um, I went to go flip his butt over because he was on his back and he could drown and bite his tongue off and suffocate. And I'm not going to have that. I don't care if my son's going on 22 very soon. That's still my little baby. I still see him as my little baby, my baby, my baby, And so the next day, I felt like my ankle was hurting, and at first, and I even streamed this, and I thought it was, you know, um, Achilles heel, because I've had Achilles heel before, and that's what it felt like before, but it really wasn't Achilles heel. In fact, it was burning more, it was hurting more, tingling more. I mean, it was just really utterly painful to the point I couldn't even walk. Well, I told you guys that on Monday I'd be going to the emergency room. Well, let's just say I fought trying to not go. But the pain was so severe, I was crying. And it wasn't just my ankle that was hurting me, okay? My I'm barely able to hold this phone where I'm streaming from, but my hands were all super swollen, and now I am bandaged here. I was supposed to be bandaged on the other arm, but I said, hell with that. And I have gotten out of the hospital. I did go to the hospital. I have my lucky ducky bracelet from the hospital right here. Um, and I told them what had happened. I got x-rayed. Took me a few hours to get in, but last night I was discharged. Found out that I didn't break my ankle. I did not fracture my ankle, but I did sprain my ankle. In fact, I sprained my arm too. I also lightly sprained the other arm where I'm holding the phone, but it's mainly inflamed because of my natural arthritis. Hate being born with arthritis, guys. It sucks. You hurt yourself, you feel it like a million times more. I'm not really complaining, I'm just telling you how it feels. Anyways, so the doctor prescribed uh well, they let me go on oh god, I forgot the name of the word. The anti-pain med, but it made me feel high. I don't like to feel high. I don't. But in order to, if it saved my son, if me hurting myself saved my son, then fine. All the doctors that came in and saw me kept asking me what had happened, what had happened. So I told them, and they're, oh wow, that's pretty noble. Most people come in with injuries that they don't try to save somebody else with. But I mean, regardless, this is my son. I would die for this kid. I would take a bullet for this kid. Um, I know he's not really a kid. He's now a man, but in my heart, in my mind, he's still my baby, my kid, you know. Um, so I told the doctors that I don't want my son to ever know that his seizure um had me injure myself, because then my son would feel bad. Because my son is super sensitive and he will like beat himself up to an oblivion, and his spirit will be diminished, as in his countenance would be diminished. And I'm in the place of wanting to encourage and build up my son, not tear him down, not make him feel bad for something, especially for something that's out of his control. I mean, he wasn't the one, you know, lifting him wrong. It was me that lifted me him wrong, you know. It was my fault, the reason why I stopped probably too hard and running to him at 55 feet. You know what I mean? I mean, it's my fault that I hurt myself. It's not his fault. So, the doctor released me with a boot, which I decided, screw this, it hurts just to wear it, and it's very uncomfortable to sleep. Seriously, I took it off because it kept shifting last night anyway. I had a very freaking rough night. Here's my boot. It's right there. Um, Sean just left to go get my actual pain med because I was in extremely bad pain. Um, I was in tears all night long. Um, I had to pee in the middle of the night, though I tinkerbelled before I went, and it took me 45 minutes just to hobble around there to get to the bathroom. And then just to get me to sit down took me a while, because I literally felt like my ankle was like buckling underneath. So I'm under 400 milligrams of like Advil, just for the inflammation, and that alone has helped my pain quite a bit. I actually had a quality nap a few moments ago before I started screaming. I didn't sleep well last night. But yes, I was in the emergency room. I did try to fight going to the emergency room. In fact, we didn't leave till almost 4. Um, yeah, and I had to travel into the city, which is about an hour drive, just to get to the emergency room. And Sean drove me, and he literally carried me to the car from the porch with steps, and he literally carried me um to the car, and his shoulder gave out, but he didn't drop me. He still held me. He still caught me, and he helped me in the car. He helped buckle me in. He helped me get to the hospital. Um, I mean, he had nurses come out to help me into a wheelchair. You know, I kept meditating while I was waiting in the emergency room, and they had to separate me from everyone else because everyone else that was mainly there had COVID, and I just needed they wanted to separate the patients that had COVID with the people that were, you know, generally sick. Hey, how are you doing? Thank you. Thank you, Christix Dragoni. Anyway, so I just got out of the hospital last night. We didn't get home till almost midnight. Um, it took my son and Sean to lift me up. Sean had to grab my right leg. Saya grabbed my left leg, and they carried me up a flight of steps of the porch, which was very painful on my part on multiple levels. But I was a little high. Oh, a hydrogen cortisone or codone, or I forgot exactly what that they gave me, but it was in a white pill. It looked like a giant Tylenol, and I was wondering why my pain was subsiding, and but they released me last night and slash this morning, and they wrapped me up. um I was a dumb ass, and because I unwrapped my arm last night because it was just uncomfortable to sleep. It felt like my circulation in my hand was going away. In fact, my hand was swollen more than you see now. Um, I thanks to the Advil for reducing my inflammation. That's the main cause of my pain is the inflammation. But I would do it again. You know what I mean? Well, I don't want to hurt myself, but if I had to hurt, if I end up hurting myself again, it would be to save my son again. I don't care. All the doctors that came in and told me that it was very noble. They know that my son has had seizures for about 12 years. So, I'm just, just waited. I hurt myself for the first time. I mean, I don't wish this on my worst enemy for this level of pain. I mean, and then last night was nonstop crying because I was in pain, and I was trying not to take anything for pain because I don't like taking anything for pain meds or pain in general because I just don't like the feeling of not being in control, you know. But I have to realize that doctors are fellow empaths, and they made me laugh actually. Um, the X-rays were no freaking fun. Oh my god! If you ever hurt yourself and you're doing X-rays, it's not fun. But the lady who did it made me crack up so much. She cracked me up. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's okay. Let's just do this. Ow! And I'm trying to hold still for the X-ray, and she's running into the room to take the picture and crap. And I'm just grateful though. I didn't break anything. I didn't fracture anything. But I'm just right now. I'm on Advil right now, and then Sean's about to go get the prescription strength Tylenol threes. Yes, I'm gonna be on prescription strength Tylenol threes. I'm gonna be a little loopy very soon because they're trying to keep me off my leg. They know I'm stubborn. They got the doctors, the hospital staff got a little taste of my stubbornness yesterday. um, they wonder how Sean's doing it. um, but I mean, I just sat there quietly trying to like calm my heart down a bit, you know what I mean, to lower my blood pressure down. Um, so when you first get into the hospital, you have to freaking like sign your name in, but I had to sign it with my left hand because my right hand was too bad. Um, I look like I was writing like a 5-year-old, but I am ambidextrous, but I'm out of practice with my left hand, and then I had to wait, and they kept moving me because they needed wheelchairs and stuff. They'd move everybody everywhere. You're like musical chairs in that place. Um, they tried asking me if I can get up and move. I said, "Hell no, I can't. Not without my cane." And Sean had my cane, and Sean had to wait out in the car for hours. So, yeah. So when they got me all situated and looked at, they had I forgot they call it. They call it a the bone doctor, and they examined my arm. They examined my wrist. My wrist is really bad inflamed to the point it I could have fractured that, or I could have sprained that if I had exerted any more pressure on it. Um, my right elbow is sprained. My right leg is really bad sprained. My ankle, I mean, ankle, hold on. I just don't have the boot on. It's just uncomfortable. Uncomfortable beyond belief. Eh, this is my foot. uh, yeah. And then, but the boot, oh, hold on, it's hard to turn. The boot is right here that they released me with last night. And here's my handy dandy hospital bracelet. Isn't it fashionable? um, I got lots of compliments from the doctors because they say I look very good for my age. They're like, "How'd you do it?" um, but the doctors were like really amazed with the fact that I came in, with an injury like this. It's the first time I've ever injured myself since my son became epileptic. Um, Yesterday was a very emotional day. And so was this morning. Um, to those who don't know, I'm usually a very strong person. I usually don't cry. Um, I just don't like to be so rebellious in that way when I'm my most vulnerable. However, I discovered something new about myself. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to admit when you have pain. I mean, the pain was so severe that I usually don't take medication for pain, but I took pain medication. Um, Imagine having nerve pain going and pain going shooting to your fingers and you can't even move, and your hands are twice the size as its normal size, and too little Advil like make it go back down to normal. Like I said, I didn't really sleep too well last night. I really had a very rough night. For those who don't like me, you know, this might make you smile, that I had a rough time. But I had discovered whatever you wish on other people happens to you, if not tenfold. Um, it hurts. Just I can barely sit and be on Second Life right now. Um, I can barely even hold this phone with my good hand streaming to you guys. I tried streaming a couple nights ago, but it was just so intense that, and I tried to get my stream to go, and I downed 4 beers, and the pain still wasn't going away. So, I'm trying to not resort to certain things to get me to sleep, but it looks like I'm in a very important time of healing. The doctors really did recommend me to take the Advils and take the Tylenol 3 for to maintain the pain, because we don't want the pain to build up. And today I got a small taste of what the pain buildup is. I want to give a shout out to you guys, ones that told me to go to the emergency room even before Monday. I want to thank you guys in advance. I mean, not in advance, but like right now for your guys' sense of care. Thank you guys for caring about me. I mean, truly caring about me, caring about my health, caring about little things about me, and I just thank you so much for that. You guys have no idea. But my son may never know I injured myself while helping him during a seizure. That is vital. don't want my son to know I injured myself while helping him in a time when he could not help himself, something he can't control. That's what I told the doctors. I told my mom, I told Sean that my son will never need to know why I hurt myself because Saya would feel so bad. And I care about Saya's emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, every little state. I care. I love that boy so much. I would do almost anything for him except for kill somebody. Unless they tried hurting him, then I'd kill somebody. But if he asked me to kill somebody, I'd say no. Um, I wouldn't rob a bank either. I wouldn't like intentionally break the law. Um, that's not the type of thing I do. But right now, I'm starting to feel the pain come back to my arm. Actually, like I can't even feel like right where the elbow bends at. That's where the pain is at right now. I just wanted to be. I mean, I might be in this state, but there's other people who are going through worse crap than me, and you know, just makes me like appreciate the little things. I mean, before I was hurting, tingling, um, feeling all kinds of pain I never thought my body could ever feel. And it's only one localized spot. My hand's starting to hurt again. So the movement, I could tell. I keep moving my hand. Um, with this hand, I can move it, but not as fast as I could. I can totally feel when the Advil is wearing out of my system. I'm starting to feel the pain in my ankle again. Um, Sean bought me liquid gels and we put them in my coffee, which did not taste good this morning. um, but he tried. I have no movement. I can't put food in my mouth. I have no range of motion. I can't even go any further than this. So I have to be fed right now, which feels really weird. But Sean is so sweet. I told Sean I'm gonna be like a little birdie. Hello, Alex Marshall. How are you doing? But anyways, so Sean's having to feed me. My mom's gonna have to feed me. I don't have no range unless after I've had my um Advil, my inflammation medication, and that's the main reason why I'm not healing as fast because I'm inflamed. Because of the injury site, and that's your body's natural way of protecting the area from being further damaged, whether broken, fractured. But this could have been even worse. I could have broken the bones, or I could have easily fractured, which is worse in my opinion than a break, because it's little bitty breaks, in a small area. But I still feel my ankle. Um, Sometimes when I'm in complete rest, I feel my ankle in that one area where the injury site is. I feel it spasm in that one area, and it's very uncomfortable. I don't know why that spasms, but it just does. Um, thanks, thanks, Alex. But like I said, it could have been worse. You know, um, I could have broke my arm. I could have broke my ankle. You know, um, yeah, I had lightly sprained this elbow, but I don't have it wrapped, and I have inflammation because of the injury site. Um, The doctors, like I said, did praise me for, you know, responding the way I usually respond to my son. But like I said, I was the one that rolled him over, and I ran to him too hard from 55-foot, trailer here. It was my fault that I injured myself. I did not lift him properly. It was my fault. I hurt myself. I didn't feel it at the moment though. I woke up the next morning and then I felt it. You know? Yeah, like when you're running on adrenaline. Oh, that hurts to scratch my face. You know how annoying it is. You can't scratch your nose, or you can't take hair out of your mouth. I have to, yeah. Um, but I mean, I didn't feel this pain till the next morning. So yeah. But I am in a world of hurt. But the Advil is in my system, so I don't feel it as strongly. Um, my pain was so severe, I was actually shaking this morning and crying. Um, I didn't get a very good, decent amount of sleep, and I for the past 3 days before I couldn't really eat because I was in that much pain. I was passing out from the pain. I would eat like one taco, and I love to eat a lot. But for me to eat one taco and then for me to go and pass out from pain, something's up. So, and I tried the pain medication myself on a Sunday night with 4 beers, and that didn't work at all. In fact, I should have not even had any alcohol, period. I felt like it made it worse. So now I'm on Advil. My discharge papers are over here. Oh, God. They're over there. Discharge papers are over there. Well, some of them. Sean took my packet of papers because he had to go get my Tylenol 3 prescription. If it was in California, we can get Tylenol 3 over the counter, but in this state, they control that, which I think that's a really good thing here. Um, this morning, all the cats were so concerned. I was actually crying in pain before I got the Advil in me, and I was crying, and this boy cat, Blue, as WC is over here, he was crying with me and trying to console me and trying to, let me know it's okay, we love you, and he has not left my side since this morning. Uh, but everything happens for a reason, good and bad. Sean was there for me, literally carrying me to the car, literally, getting the nurses to come out, you know, literally there waiting for me to be done. Literally there to pick up my medicine, to help me get me in bed, to even feed me, you know. I mean, not too many people have that. Not too many people have that. I mean, we got into an argument this morning because I woke his butt up because I had to pee. And he did not like that. But we talked it out, and that's life. You don't always agree with your partner all the time, and that's okay. I'm just like laying here. I'm starting to feel the pain come back a little. I'll try to. It's um, it's actually in my knee. Oh God, my hair is totally messed up. I haven't been able to take a shower in a couple of days, and I've been laying in bed for a few days. I'm having pain in my knee, dominant knee. right now because I'm having to use that to kick off when I need to get up and I have to walk with the cane. And then my other knee is hurting because it's got inflammation from the actual ankle. Oh, this hurts. Ah. So I'm here, chilling, trying to lay in bed, but again, my son may never know this is the reason why I'm hurting because of his because I injured myself in the middle of one of his seizures trying to flip him over. I don't want him to ever know. I don't want him to think like he did something wrong when it's just something he didn't do and it's out of his control. He can't control when he has seizures. He can't control that, you know. I don't want the poor young man to feel like he hurt his mother, you know, because when he found out I hurt myself, he was like, "Mom, what happened? Oh my God." He was literally freaking out. I had to calm him down. I had to freaking calm him down because he's the type that if he starts to hyperventilate, he can trigger himself to go into a seizure. So I don't want my son to know that, I injured myself. So I told him honestly today when the pain med was starting to work through, um, the anti-inflammation medication was working. Um, I sat him down right by me, and I held him for a little bit, and I said, I can't really tell you the reason why I'm really hurting, the reason why I got hurt, because I don't like lying to him. I don't like lying. I don't like it. I don't like having to remember what I told the person, then cover it up with something else, and then cover up one lie to cover up another lie, cover another lie. Before you know it, you forgot what the original lie was. I just don't like it. So I just told him I just can't really tell you why I got injured. Okay, and um, but I told him how much I loved him, how much I'm proud of him, how much God loves him, how much God loves his enemies and to forgive his enemies, and how you know he's special and he was made for a reason. I always tell my son that every day, that everything good and bad happens for a reason. God has a divine reason for it. And I praise God even for this situation. Something good is going to happen through it. Something really amazing, a blessing, something positive, whatever it is that you believe that's in a good way, that's what's going to come out of this situation. I totally believe it. God's grace and mercy is above our own in all things. God's goodness and every little thing that He does is beyond our own. We can never outmatch God. And the fact that I was able to be seen by a doctor and the doctors were all praising me for my noble act, I don't really feel what I've done was noble. When does a mother save her son become noble? It doesn't. We do this without even thinking. We would stop in front of a train to save our kids. A bullet, you know, we would, know, do many things for our children we wouldn't even do for ourselves. So, um, they were quick to give me hydrocortisone. That's what they gave me last night. They gave me hydrocortisone last night, and I felt high like a kite. I did not like the high as a kite part because I felt nauseated, but I like the no pain part. um, so I was in the hospital last night. I got there slightly after 5, and I was released about 11, about 10:30. No, about 10 o'clock. So I was there for 5 hours. I had X-rays done on my ankle, on my elbow, on my wrists. Um, They examined my other arm. They examined my shoulders. They even examined my ribs to make sure, I didn't damage myself in my abdomen area. They gave me a full pelvic exam, as in like touching my pelvic area. They examined both my knees to make sure, and they can feel the inflammation, and so, um, but everything happens for a reason, good and bad. And to your enemies that are like, or to anybody who doesn't like me, who's seeing this going on right now, if this makes you happy, I'm glad. I'm glad it makes you happy that I'm suffering and I'm hurting. I'm glad. But I have a word for you. It's temporary. Believe me. One day God will move in your heart in such a way where you don't want to be that way no more. And then you'll, instead of feeling temporary enjoyment over someone else's suffering, you'll feel permanent or long term regret and sorrow. So, so I'm out of the hospital. Um, I got to make a couple new friends in the hospital room. One guy, I was actually gonna film there, but I didn't purposely didn't bring my phone. I didn't want to bring plights of people into light in their faces because everyone's going through so much stuff, you know. Um, Also, it'd be wrong to do that. Also, to be respectful of other people in their situations. You know, they don't want to be there. I didn't want to be there. No one wants to be there. I don't even think the nurses want to be there, to be honest. They'd rather be, somewhere else, you know, than seeing people hurting all the time. But I want to give a shout out to all the nurses out there, all the doctors. You guys deal with so much pressure on a daily basis. You guys were so overly full. You still managed to see every single patient. They were so full that I didn't get a room. I was actually in a hallway. And they managed to take the time to, make sure that I was okay. And they kept checking my blood pressure, and they kept checking everyone else's blood pressure and seeing if they need a pillow or a blanket or something like that. And I'm just like, just grateful that these people exist, these doctors, these nurses, that they exist, that all the hospital staff exists, and they're such kind, loving, compassionate people. They see these plights all the time, yet they don't lose their humanity. They don't lose their sense of life and appreciation for it. I'm hearing them joke and have fun with each other and asking each other how each other's doing. And I just love that. I just learned so much yesterday from being in the ER. So I'm gonna end this stream. I just want to rest for a little bit. Um, but yeah, my beautiful hospital bracelet right here. My beautiful hospital bracelet. Do you like it? Is it fashionable? Anyways, guys, thank you guys for being part of my life. And thank you guys for being here for me. If you guys watching this later, you know, this is what happened, guys. I went to the ER. All right. And that's what happened to me yesterday. All right. I managed to do this with a bad hand. Yes, this is I love you in American Sign Language. There we go. I'm out. Have a good day, guys. God bless you all. Do, 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 do. Dun, dun.